You have been walking every single day, faithful as sunrise, and the scale hasn't moved in months. Maybe you've been at it for a year, maybe longer. You lace up those sneakers, you put in the miles, you come home sweaty and tired, and you think, this is the day it starts working. But the waistband is still tight. The mirror still shows the same soft middle. Your doctor's last visit was, let's be honest, not the conversation you were hoping for. You're doing everything right, or so you were told, and yet nothing is changing. That quiet frustration, that private defeat every morning when you step on the scale and see the same number staring back at you, I know exactly what that feels like because I lived inside it for years. And here's what nobody is talking about. You are not lazy. You are not weak. You are not someone who just can't do it. You went out and walked when it was cold. You walked when your knees ached. You walked when every part of you wanted to sit down. That is not the behavior of someone who doesn't care. So why, after all that effort, does your body look and feel almost exactly the same as when you started? Why are you still winded halfway up the stairs? Why are those pants still laid out on the bed because they won't zip? I want you to hear this clearly. It is not your fault. Nobody ever told you the truth. You were handed a piece of advice, just walk more, and you followed it faithfully. And the people who gave you that advice left out the most important part. Walking eventually stops working. Your body figures it out, and then it just coasts. My name is Hank. I'm in my mid-50s. A few years ago, I weighed 280 pounds. I had high blood pressure, a resting heart rate that embarrassed me, and enough social anxiety that the idea of walking into a commercial gym made me want to cancel the whole plan before I even got in the car. I wasn't an athlete. I wasn't a fitness guy. I was a regular man who felt old before his time and tired of feeling that way. I started the way most people start. I walked. I walked a lot, and I did lose some weight early on, but then it stopped completely, and I spent a long time thinking I was the problem. I wasn't. The method was. What eventually turned things around for me, I figured out mostly through trial and error, a lot of reading, and a stubborn refusal to stay where I was. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a trainer. I don't sell supplements. I don't have a program to push. I have no affiliate links, no sponsor in this video, nothing. What I have is a body that works now, genuinely works, and a clear memory of what it was like before. That's the only authority I'm standing on. Here is the core problem, and I want to say it in one sentence so it actually lands. Your body adapts to easy effort, and once it adapts, it stops changing. That's it. That is the whole thing. The human body is an astonishingly efficient machine, and efficiency is its survival strategy. The first time you walked 2 miles, your heart worked hard, your muscles worked hard, your metabolism had to respond. Your body said, okay, this is a new demand, let me adjust. And it adjusted. It got good at that 2-mile walk. Then it got great at it. And now it does it on autopilot, burning the minimum number of calories, asking almost nothing of your heart or your muscles, just ticking along like a comfortable old engine on a flat road. The fitness industry knows this. The supplement industry really knows this. And it is not in their interest to fix it for you, because a person who is stuck on a plateau keeps buying walking shoes and protein powders and fitness trackers and 30-day programs that deliver just enough early results to keep hope alive. I'm not being cynical for the sake of it. I'm telling you where the money flows. Your plateau is profitable for them. It is not profitable for you. So what actually forces the body to keep adapting? The short answer is intensity, not pain, not injury, not the kind of suffering you see on those extreme TV competitions. I mean brief, honest, harder than comfortable effort. The kind that makes your heart actually push, that asks your legs and your lungs to do something they're not already used to. When you introduce short bouts of higher intensity into your movement, and I mean short, we're talking in terms of minutes, not miles. Your body can't coast anymore. It has to respond. Your cardiovascular system gets a real signal. Your muscles, which after 60 you genuinely cannot afford to keep losing, get a reason to stay. Your metabolism, which slows down partly because your body has nothing challenging to maintain, gets woken back up. There is a term scientists use. They call it metabolic adaptation. And breaking through it doesn't require a gym membership or an athlete's body. It requires giving your body a reason to keep working. A flat, easy walk at the same pace you've walked for 12 months does not give it that reason anymore. A short hill does. A weighted vest does. 30 seconds of moving faster than feels comfortable, followed by recovery, then doing it again, that does it. The research on this in adults over 60 is actually really strong, and the results show up not just on the scale, but in blood pressure, in blood sugar, in the kind of energy you feel at 3 in the afternoon instead of slumping in a chair. Here is exactly what I want you to try this week. Not someday, this week. 3 times this week, I want you to replace one of your regular flat walks with something that takes 10 to 15 minutes total. That's it. 10 to 15 minutes. If you walk outdoors, find a hill. Any hill. Walk up it at a pace where you could say a few words, but definitely not have a full conversation. That's your target effort. Walk back down easy. That's 1 interval. Do that 4 or 5 times and you're done. If you're on a treadmill, bump the incline up to somewhere between 8 and 12% and walk at your normal pace. You don't need to run. You don't need to sprint. The incline does the work. If you want to add a weighted vest, I started with 10 pounds, which sounds like nothing until minute 3 on a hill, trust me. That's a great way to add intensity without changing your pace at all. What I don't want you to do, don't jump to 30 minutes of this on day 1. Don't push through sharp pain in your knees or hips. Discomfort is fine. Pain is a signal, and those are different things. And don't skip the 2 or 3 minutes of easy movement at the start to let your body warm up. That warm-up is not optional at our age. If you want a longer breakdown of the exact progression I followed week by week, I've got more on the channel. Just search Hank and it'll come up. Now, I want to be straight with you about a couple of things, because this is where a lot of fitness content leaves you hanging. You are not going to feel dramatically different after 1 session. You might not feel dramatically different after 2 weeks. The changes that matter, the blood pressure coming down, the waist measurement actually shifting, the energy in the afternoon, those take somewhere between 4 and 8 weeks of consistency to become undeniable. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. Also, if you have any history of heart problems, if your doctor has flagged anything about your cardiovascular health, please have a 5-minute conversation with them before you add intensity to your routine. I mean that sincerely, not as a legal disclaimer. I mean it because a doctor who knows your numbers can tell you exactly how hard is smart for you specifically, and that conversation is worth having. And the single most common reason people try this and quit or get hurt is that they skipped the buildup. They felt good on day 2 and did too much on day 3. Slow is not the enemy. Slow and consistent beats fast and injured every time. Here's the line I want you to carry out of this video. Walking got you started, but intensity is what keeps you going. That's it. That's the whole shift. This week, I want you to take one of your regular walks, just one, and swap it for 10 minutes of incline or hill intervals. 1 walk, 3 times this week. That's the challenge. Timed, specific, totally doable. And when you've done it, come down to the comments and tell me one thing. How many years have you been walking for exercise and felt like you hit a wall? I read those comments, I respond to them. This is a real conversation, not a broadcast. And next time, I'm going to show you exactly what I eat in a day to support this kind of training at our age. No fancy supplements, no expensive meal plans, just real food that actually works. I'll see you there.